they could be a goof. Oh, the written books come from Recurrent Complex. I think they are all just goofs in those books. Little player written stories. Oh, it's... Now I'm just confused, Tech. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, I'm going to push out this wall one more, and then if we do not find the remaining rock crystal, I'll move on. That's quartz. There is overworld quartz, thanks to Embers. It does not give you multiple quartz, though. It only gives you one quartz. Single piece of quartz. But it's still overworld quartz, so I think it's nice. I will be so happy once Immersive Engineering updates to 1.11 and I can use a mining drill. Heck, I'll even put Tinkers in the pack if it updates, just so that I can have a hammer, so this kind of thing isn't so painful. Because right now it's just brutal. Well, I think the spawning mechanic for rock crystal has changed. Because this was about the size of the area on the surface, and we only found one, and I've lost it. If that's the case, because and sorry for dizziness. Keep dizziness to a minimum. I've lost it because I wasn't paying attention. The books in Recurrent Complex that don't have content but do have a name, that could actually just be the names of testers and stuff, or people who have actually authored parts of the decoration that are in Recurrent Complex, because I know that Ivorius didn't actually make all of the decoration himself, obviously. So it could just be a way of putting credits into the mod. That's my guess. And I do mean that's my guess, because I don't know that for a fact. Right. Ooh, lead. Yeah, YouTube, I'm probably interchangeably using Tech and Geek. Tech Fusion and Geekbeam are actually the same person. It's just when I look over to Twitch chat right now, it says Geekbeam. But when I look at the in-game chat, it says Tech Fusion. And so I respond based on which name I'm looking at. I'll take this quartz with me. I can't be bothered going for the quartz that's down there that I didn't get. Did I get it all? I can't remember. Give me this silver. Lead. Lead's good, because lead is used everywhere in Embers, and it's just nice to grab every time. I've stratified the ores so that you won't actually find all the ores at the same level. At the level we're currently on, you'll find lead and silver and galena and bauxite and iron, but you're not going to find copper or tin or diamonds or gold. You have to go further down for that. Copper and tin are higher up, so you're only going to find copper and tin quite high up. So there's galena ore. There's some iron. Already got iron in my pack, so I may as well take some. Sapphire pickaxe is useless. So slow. I should really enchant some stuff too, because I have some levels. But enchanting stuff means making bookshelves and an enchanting table and work. I do actually want to keep this cobble, believe it or not, because I am short on it. Torch. I like having an empty slot on my bar. Alright, let's head on back up since I ruined that search for a rock crystal. I'm so disappointed in myself. I wonder if you can tell. No, I think it was this way. I hope I didn't turn back at the last second. No, there it is. This is the entrance, marked by many torches, so it's hard to miss. Good night, Samrel. Thank you for stopping by. You had a pearl and it's gone. That is incredibly unfortunate, Tech. You probably don't want to sleep, do you? My condolences. Because pearls aren't a dime a dozen in this pack like recent versions of Minecraft have been. Let's put this. Yes, that was shade, by the way. It was shade at recent versions. You could fight Enderman, or you could do what Ninja did and go around whatever area you're in and break the terraqueous rocks that are on the ground until they provide enough ender powder for you to make a pearl. Or you could trade with a testificate cleric until he gives you one. Yes, there is a mob version of all the plants, so you can actually grow ender pearls. But good luck. Good luck. Because I use that ender pearl instead of growing it. Because I want things now. I mean, ender pearl balance arguments are along the same lines as diamond arguments. I remember having diamond balance arguments back in, actually going to use this lava to heat up. I remember actually having diamond balance arguments way back in like 1.3 or 1.2 even, back when it was basically just industrial craft as far as large scale mods went. And it's tricky because it's easy to, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? It's easy to get grumpy about ender pearl balance, but it's funny because it's probably going to go the same way as it did with diamonds, which is we're eventually going to just accept it. We're just going to accept it as a thing, like we did with diamond balance. Speaking of diamond balance, I have enough. No, I don't. I need another diamond. I was going to say I have enough for an enchanting table as well, but I do not. Nowhere I can get more diamonds. It's just, it's going to be, oh yeah. Okay. So this is tricky. I did a thing, and we're going to see. It's a good thing that we get to test it now. I've made it so Better with Mods overwrites diamond recipes with diamond ingot recipes. So to actually make a diamond pick, we're going to need diamond ingots. To make a diamond ingot, that's not so bad actually. In a crafting table, I thought it was going to be harder than that, but it's not. Iron ingot and creeper fuses. We have enough. So here's some creeper fuses and some iron ingots. And then let's make these. Then we can make our pickaxe. Okay, no, that stays in the pack then, because that is nice. Just means that you actually have to hunt down creepers. Right, we have a diamond pickaxe. We're actually going to keep that off the bar. And replace this recipes. Yeah, not all of them, just the basic ones. Some of them, it wouldn't make sense to have a diamond ingot in place of the normal diamond. Anyway. Okay, brain, what are we doing? We either go for more rock crystal, which I think we will. Shift. And now I right click. And now I right click. Yeah. Alright. It replaces all the vanilla ones though. So diamond armor and stuff you have to make out of ingots. So that's 8 creeper fuses. That's 8 creepers. It's a creeper per. So you have to kill 5, 12, 19, 23 creepers to get a full set of diamond armor. What map mod is that? That's Journey Map. This is Journey Map. And Journey Map will actually probably be replaced in the future of this pack, depending on what Antique Atlas ends up doing. Also, hi Trinai. Yeah, there's lots of settings. I think this is the default nowadays, is to have this kind of like 16:9 version of the minimap. I know it wasn't always the case. I think it used to be circle at one point even by default. But yeah, this is the default settings just because. So, next closest is probably this one to try and get to. How do I get to you? How do I get to you? Probably. This is tricky. I'm thinking, because I could try and find these caves, right, and hop through them, but I'm not sure where these caves are in particular. I knew where this one was. Are you showing me hostile mobs? My hostile mobs are turned off. Don't show me hostile mobs. So this one was a dud because I made it a dud. I broke it. I guess we just go from there. It's going to be digging, but meh. Ah, loads up minimap 2. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alright. Actually, it's minimap 1. This is minimap 2. Why did mine default to minimap 2? I don't know. I think I like minimap 2 better. That's for sure. All right. I'm so tempted to just go outside and dig down. But this one in particular is underwater, so I'm not. I'm gonna dig a Rooney. Darkness, my old friend. It's not going to take that long, I guess, doing it this way. Fine. Change to the shovel so I'm not making horrible piles of dirt. I think this might be close to outside. I think we're gonna have to start digging down. Dig it down. Get underground. Iridium. That will become important later, if I ever get to that point on this particular world. But this world should be around for a while now for testing purposes, because all the major world gen is done as far as I'm concerned, until we get immersive engineering. And in that case, all I'm going to change is I'm going to change the ore generation over to immersive engineering, and it won't matter if the old chunks have the old ores, because the distribution is going to be the same in the end anyway. Oh, I'm going past it. Should actually be more like here. Okay. Getting there. It wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. And this time I might actually get a rock crystal. Okay. Nearly on top of it, and then we can do a spiral staircase. We're already down to Y37. And that's just doing diagonal stairs. Probably about one more. Okay, now we do spiral staircase. And we hope for more than one rock crystal ore, because that was just pathetic the last time. previously I've seen about, I don't know, about 4 or 5 rock crystal ore in one area. It's not meant to be horrendous to find. I know that much. It's just we got super unlucky. Or I just wasn't digging in the right place, which is totally possible. Yeah, what's the reason you didn't have the pearl tech? Did you use it in something? Did you throw it? You threw it, didn't you? Don't ride a boat and use a porter. Okay. Why don't you ride a boat and use a porter? Here's rock crystal. Oh, right. You already made the wand. Yeah, that's the whole where are my glasses and they're on your head situation. We need you. Hooray. Look at that. Got two Rockerino Crystallinos. That's awesome. Alright, let's do some more digging. Save the durability on my diamond pick because I'm a Scrooge. See, it can actually be below the top level of bedrock, so it is worth digging around underneath the top level of bedrock. That one was down here, so worth. I'm just not entirely sure how high up it goes. I imagine about as much as I have arbitrarily picked out, but I'm not totally sure on that. What gave you a null pointer exception on the first relog? Riding a boat and use a porter will put you into a bugged position. They gave me a null pointer exception on the first relog attempt. Oh dear. Well, McJitty might want to know about that one. Maybe it's got something to do with the fact that, like, I think when you are mounted, your player is actually technically the boat and not the Steve that's in the boat. Nice. About the teleport null pointer, Atomic. Atomic just said in chat that he has no idea and is really curious about, and I think he is referring to the teleportation. Yeah. Am I just getting lucky and it's now only 1 ore per area and I've just landed on that ore both times coming straight down? Could be. Could be. Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe it was always 1 ore. Oh, right, yeah. So, McJitty's Porter Atomic does not like to be used while the player is in a boat. It causes you to crash, as I understand it, or be in a bugged out position, and once you relog, it has a null pointer exception once, and then you can log in again. That's how I understood Tech Fusion. Yes, that is my task. Kiwi just said, your task before next StreamRX is to figure out how to add chat to your recording setup so that it's easier for you. Yes, this is absolutely the task that I will be doing when I get the chance. Rootstone circle question mark. If I deselect my wand. I don't know what you were doing, Grid, but you shouldn't be able to see them without the wand. I know that you can't. If you had the wand selected, they'll stick around for a few seconds after you've put the wand away, but they'll end up disappearing. I'm going to freeze to death. This is the thing, I live on an alpine island, so it's very cold everywhere. Hence why my character's in woolies. See ya, Kiwi. Oh, my campfires are burnt out. I mean, I can just go stand by the lava, obviously, but boo that. Huh. Something's wrong with that lava. It's not acting as a heat source. Neither is that fire. Otherwise, I would have seen an up arrow on that frost when I that frost symbol when I stood next to it. I'm going to go get 4 pieces of pine. I won't chop down that tree because that's a recurrent tree and the leaves don't remove themselves once the tree's gone. It's annoying. And I'm wondering what the best way to handle that is actually, because recurrent's not going to be removed from the pack and neither is the recurrent trees. So, what do you do? Campfire. Flint and tinder. Flint and steel. There is no tinder involved in this one. Whoa! Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know whether you can actually add TAN support to HCMW lanterns at the moment, Atomic. Because TAN is so brutally unfinished at the moment. I mean, it works enough that I'm prepared to leave it in the pack in its current state. But it needs a lot of work, and ADubs just doesn't have the time to do it. Atomic says, right-click the air with a lit candle holder in your hand and set yourself on fire. Okay, so we have rock crystals. What do we do with these rock crystals? Well, I'm glad that you asked, invisible person. Right after I have a drink. we take our astral journal and we go into exploration. Because now that we have rock crystals, we've unlocked this area of our journal, which gets us to this. And we want a skywave resonator, which means we need a liquid starlight bucket. How do we get a liquid starlight bucket? We get a star well. Light well, sorry. Which is a couple of ruined marble pillars, 2 chiseled marble, a rock crystal, 2 aquamarine. And this will help us going forward. So, things and stuff and things and stuff. We can't make this yet, because it needs to be nighttime. But I can prepare the marble. I can. If I find my marble, my astral marble, which I need to sort out some Craftweek recipes so that they can use different versions of different items from the different marbles that we have in the pack. I know raw marble can be used in place, but for example, there is runed and chiseled versions of marble in Chisel, which I should or dictionary. But you, that's not at astral. Runed marble, chiseled marble, 4 marble. In our previous world, Gridmonkey ended up setting an entire pirate boat on fire in order to stay warm. This is tan for you. So, you know, you do what you must. And if being on fire is what you must, then sure. Do we have enough for this? We do have enough for this. Now you guys get to see the crafting process. Bah. I mean, the piano thing is a little funny, but we need 2 chisel marble. To make rune marble, it's 1 chisel marble, and that either side. Died to a pirate who was kind of mad about it. Can you blame him, Gridmonkey? Can you blame him? I mean, I know they're undead pirates and all that, but they probably spent a good portion of their income on that. Hide the ember pipes. Is that what you're saying, Tick? I kind of like them, but I understand the need for people to want to hide pipes, for sure. I came down here for a couple of bits of aquamarine. All right. There, at the very least, needs to be a block which can be placed on top of the pipes. Yeah, I don't have enough for the light well at the current juncture, but we will at night time. And then, in order to make the Skywave Resonator, I will need liquid. Okay, so I don't need another rock crystal. A++. I will just need to wait because the light well needs to fill up with starlight. I know this is great. I love the mythology of this. It literally fills up with liquid starlight, and it has about 2 buckets worth in it at any one time. And you spend aquamarine in order to fill it up. It's a resource used. Right, so since we're waiting for nighttime, and I will get rid of this cobble and this limestone and these ores. Right. The rest of it can go into the ocean because I am a Victorian era person who has no idea of the ecological impact of throwing your stuff into the water. In fact, I'm going to drink from the same water that I threw it into. So, what can we do now that it's daytime? Mine menu. That's what we can do. So, this is my menu. It's pretty cool. Why don't I, like, use item, select a slot, this one. Done. Enter a title, then configure using ocean. Okay. Sword. Action. Sapphire sword. Do it. And it's going to look like a sword. So now, hang on, that was probably not the best thing to test with. Here's a better idea. If I do this one and flint, action, use item, select a slot, flint and steel, done. And it will be called flint and steel. Now, if I do this, no? I'm sure that's how flint and steel works, right? Yeah. Does it have to be on my hotbar? This one. Done. Done. Maybe? Maybe? Maybe I'm not understanding it properly. Flint and steel, action. Click action. Click action, use item. Click action, key binding. Click key action, command. Category. Okay, no. Item, flint and steel. And there's no other settings for it. Oh, here's something I can try though. At the very least, you change you to wearable. No, backpack. Backpack. Action. Click. Key binding. Select a key. Duh. Item scroller, journey map, miscellaneous movement, multiplayer, placement preview, Quark, RF tools. This one. Press it, toggle it, press it. Done. Okay, so I have to move up and press the key. So, why you not work? Why you not work? Why are you not trying to set things on fire? Okay, let's try a new one. Let's try this one. This one will be command. No, maybe it is a command that I want. I'm trying to get it to do shift right click with an empty hand to put down the bag, right? Okay, it's nighttime, so let's focus on something else for now. I'll come back to that. But now I can do this, which is nice. Don't have to take my hand away from my mouse or my movement keys. Hey, buddy. I hear the other one behind me, don't worry. Okay. So, we have enough for this, which is nice. Right, well, I'm actually going to take this down to the beach. Because I don't think it matters where the has to be midnight, right? So I'm going to stick the light well like here. And we stick an aquamarine in it. And you'll see that the aquamarine starts doing the glowy dance. And now we are getting liquid starlight. So, we need to let that fill up for a bucket's worth so that we can make the thingy-majigger. Resonating something? Skywave resonator? It's another thing that reveals stuff to you when you're holding it, which is what we need it for. So anyway, back to what I was doing. You. Why are you not working? I wish it... So here's the thing. Why don't I do... See, I'm interested. Shift, right click, shift click. Did that change anything? Lunch. Lunch. It's red. I mean, this works. This doesn't. It's not based on whether I'm left or right clicking. Shift. Huh. Well, this is why we test. I'm actually wondering something here. I'm wondering if there's going to be some interaction. Here's a fluid gauge, which meant to tell you the fluid of the block that it's on. No, okay. It's a pity. That's a pity. I would have thought that would have been very cool. And Grid Monkey, you are not holding the resonating wand, right? And you can see the lines. Monkey, Grid Monkey, are you sure you're not looking at a root stone circle? Because that's different. Do we have enough? I'd like to get this done in one night if I can. I mean, we're getting there. There's certainly a lot of starlight in there now, but not a bucket. Grid Monkey, are they white or are they blue? Atomic Bomb asks if the gauge is meant to be a gauge for liquids. Yes. This will tell you how much fluid is in a block, or is meant to, but it may be embers only. See, if I take it over to this, it tells me about 15,500 water out of 1,600. And this, when it has metal in it, tells me how much metal is in there. But it's not working on this. Alright. What? Oh, you know what? You know what I think is happening? Okay, well, the aquamarine broke. That's normal, by the way. The aquamarine is meant to break. There was a white beam, like a higher res beacon texture, and then some blue and white orbs floating up in a swooshy pattern. Didn't think of taking a screenshot, Cosmobs. Blue and white orbs. Well, there's no blue orbs in the astral beams. I know that much. They're pure white. And if it was only around midnight, that does sound like a stone circle. So, yeah. I'm confused. I am confused. Right, that's what I was going to do. Liquid. So what I think is happening see. Whoa. Yes, you can put liquid starlight down and it gives you night vision. Yeah, I can't put the liquid starlight back in there, so. But what I think is happening, because these are forge buckets, and I'm wondering whether the forge buckets are buggy and whether I should turn them off. I will try it on an HCMW barrel and let you know. It might be, the light well might particularly be protected on purpose. Okay. Let's make an HCMW barrel. Trying to remember my own recipes. Bottle. 6 planks. 2 iron. Yeah, you might have knocked down the stone circle that was there if you're terraforming it. Okay, so we have a fluid barrel. And if we go and get a gauge, I wonder if this will even let me put it on the side. Yeah, it's not working with it. We need to put it on the top or the bottom of the barrel. Right. Oh. Not on the top. And not on the bottom. And I am regretting breaking that gravel with the wrong tool now. It does read from the side it's attached to. It's not reading anything in there. Maybe if I put some water in there in the first place. Yeah, it's not working. Tomic is going to try and talk to Elucent about it. For those in YouTube land. I wonder if this is going to cause problems. I'm doing this for test reasons. Because this shouldn't generate any starlight during the day. But I'm hoping the aquamarine doesn't break during the day. If it's not, then if you wanted to automate these, you'd have to set up a nighttime sensor and stuff like that, which is fine. It's just another thing you'd have to test out. Yeah, I put it on the top and the bottom. Did you miss that? Put it on the top and the bottom. I dug underneath the barrel and put it down there, and both times it didn't work. I suppose with liquid in it now, I should try it on the top. Oh. Alright. Makes sense. So it can only read from a side it can pull from, which means... Alright. Now here's the thing, because that broke at exactly the same time as I put that on top. Yeah, alright. Here's a question. Actually, give me the aquamarine back. Fine, don't give me the aquamarine back. I will put you here. I'll put you here. Yeah. Okay, well... Oh wait, there's no starlight in there. It's not going to tell me anything because there's no starlight in there. Let's grab another aquamarine. And you won't generate starlight in there until night. So... But I have my liquid bucket of starlight, so that's fine. And then what did I need for the resonator? Resonator. 2 marble, gold, and an aquamarine. No, Serious Creeper, there was no answer to the pumping water, which is points out a crucial failure of the set of mods at the moment. And again, it's one of those things that will be solved by the presence of immersive engineering, but I have to consider when immersive engineering is actually going to be ready for 1.11, and whether I should put something in the interim, which I quite possibly will have to, because there's no indication of when Blue Sunrise is actually going to work on 1.11. He is going to work on 1.11, but there's no indication of when. Okay, so don't put aquamarine on a light well at day, because it will break, and you'll get no starlight for your effort. Although there was a little bit there, wasn't there? You do not read from the bottom, it looks like. You can only read from the top. Alright, that's cool. That's a thing, actually. Bed. I think I need red beds specifically. Which need to be made with red wool. Specifically. Yes, Atomic. It is working. It's just when I tried it properly, by actually having liquid in the barrel, I only put the gauge on the side, right? But instead, if you put it on top, it reads it. Quark does not audit for beds. This is actually the first time it's ever rained in this area. Come on, nighttime. I would like to put an aquamarine on you. I would also like to craft my resonator. You can't get starlight when it's raining, by the way. Can you not? I thought starlight was a nighttime thing, not specifically a sky thing. It's gonna do a thing. Rain tank. Rain collector. 5 cobble, 2 iron, and an iron fence. Just in case, I'll grab 6 of you, because I think I might have a piece of iron fence in here, or possibly even here. I do not, but I'm going to take that, and that, and that. So those should not be in there. This, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have made this a long time ago, by the way. But that is how scatterbrained you are when you're testing. Rain collector. Here. So this is going to collect fresh water for me. Forestry rain tank. Rain tank. Oh, I need a sturdy case. Oh, no, I might be able to make that sturdy casing, actually. No, I can't make bronze. I cannot make bronze. Well, you know what? Why don't I just do that? It is no rain. I mean, that's pretty rainy to me. Hang on. How much was my PC?